Yes, Monday. Can't trust that day. Anyway. Hey friends, what's happening? What is happening? I tell you, I started my morning off. I don't know how you started your morning off, but I watched Kim and Angie's video, Healed Heart, and Kim Wilson. Amazing. You had this old guy blubbering. What a great video, and deservedly so on the Buck and Spash. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. So anyway, here we are Monday. I spent a good part of the morning roughing out some axe handles on the bandsaw, the first perimeter cut, but we actually have to get some other work done. Starting on those doors, I think I mentioned those on the short last week. So I picked up my poplar. They're going to be poplar frames, stiles, and rails. Rails are horizontal, stiles are vertical on cabinet and door construction. I've got some 3/8 inch Baltic birch plywood that I'm going to cut down into the panels. They're going to be flat panels, and then the glue up, and then they're going to be bifold accordion doors. So they have to be, hinges have to be mortised, and they have to be laid out to fit in an existing opening. Woohoo! So anyway, what I wanted to cover today, and we'll see how far we can get. The first thing I wanted to cover was the wood itself. Poplar is a paint grade wood, even though it's considered a hardwood. It is fairly soft, but it's great for painting. It's clear mostly. We can depend on it as cabinet makers and carpenters. We can depend on it to be stable when it's dried properly, and it's easy to work with. It's not like a walnut or a hickory. It's just, it's a great wood. Really can't say enough nice things about it. If you're painting, although you can take, I have taken in a pinch, I have taken a dark brown stain. If you get the right dark brown stain, sort of to the black side, with some umber in it, you can put it on and wipe it off, and it does look pretty close to walnut. It does take stain fairly well, better than pine, I would say. Anyway, I'm getting off track. What I wanted to go over right now is the wood order itself. And I always order, when I'm gonna build something like this, I always order more wood than I need, especially when I'm not picking it out. I can be a lot more stingy on what I get when I'm picking it out. But when other people are picking it out, and in this case, these 6 boards here are for the stiles, the uprights portion of the doors, the long pieces, and then the rails go in between. They lock in with tongue and groove joints and stuff, and we'll get to all that. When you order wood and you say to your wood supplier, I need XYZ for doors, something happens in their head differently than what happens in the person that's building it. In that they're not really thinking about door construction. They're just thinking wood and getting it out the door. And you can really screw up and fight a project, cabinet doors, any kind of door or box or anything, by not reading the wood and understanding that you need the straightest wood that you can find. And so right off the bat, I come in and I walk in and I see my pile of wood, and I could already tell Friday by handling some of it that some of it was whoppered. Walked in this morning, look at the pile of lumber, and immediately the first two boards on the pile are these two boards right here. Now, my construction of my door, I'm going to be at 4 inches for my stiles, the vertical parts going up. So I looked at these guys, and I don't know if you can see, but the first two boards I touch, I tell you, did not put a smile on my face. You guys are going to come with me, and I don't know if you can see this, but we're going to try to see it. Now, if you sight down, nope, we're going to go this way. Oh, there we go. Now you can see it. If you sight down that left top corner of that board, you're not seeing an optical delusion or illusion. You're seeing, and I measured it with kite string, you're seeing about a 3/8 of an inch bow right here in the middle. Now, how am I supposed to build a door with something like that? Yes, you might say, I could joint this flat. Why wouldn't I joint this flat? I would not joint this flat because I would lose 3/8 of an inch on my thickness, and I'm trying to keep this as close to 1 1/4 inches. That's my thickness that I'm trying to stick to. I'd waste a lot of material, in which case I could have bought the next thickness down, which is 1 inch thick, assuming that they were straight boards, if that makes sense. So anyway, this board is going like this. So what are you going to do about it? Well, you're going to move on to the next board. And as you can see, same problem. This is pretty darn flat here. This is flat and level all the way across. So it's pretty easy to check, even though I like using kite string. I'll stretch kite string across the board and take a real precise measurement. So right off the bat, I'm kind of not happy about what they picked out for me. However, you have to anticipate this. And really the only way to combat it on a timeline, I mean, I could flatten these boards in about 3 weeks by clamping them to my lumber shelves and spritzing them with some water. And but that's not to say that they wouldn't spring back later on down the road, but I could flatten them. So fortunately, it does get better. This one is a little tiny bit bowed, but we're probably talking about 1/8, 3/16 max. That is definitely acceptable. We can joint that flat. Come to the next one. Well, by golly, that one just looks lovely. There can even be, you really need to do this too. You really need to run through this lumber, especially if you're picking it out yourself. And when you go to your hardwood supplier or even buying studs, don't be afraid to pick through this stuff. You're paying for it. And now that lumber is so expensive, get the good stuff. The harder it is, it's harder to work with, the more screwy it is. So, boy, am I glad. We've got 2 flat boards, not hooked or bowed. A bow goes like this. A crown goes like this. A cup is obviously a cup across the grain, and then a twist is just what it says it is. It's a twist. So when you're looking at a board, you're trying to look at all these things and take all these things into account. And if, you know, you go down the checklist, you know, I always sight for the crown first. And like with 2x4s, a lot of 2x4s are gonna have a crown, but there's limitations to what you can deal with. The crown on this, crowns in the wood shop don't matter as much unless they're super extreme, because I have the joiner. The joiner will take the crown out. All right, friends, we're at the joiner. There's the joiner. And I'll just go over the joiner real quickly. Basically what the joiner is these beds are ground dead flat, and inside the pork chop there's an 8-inch cutter in here. Whoops, sorry about that. And the cutter has 3 knives in it. Oh, there's a little rust. No, that's, what is that? Oh, that's walnut dust. Okay, I thought it was rust. And I think we're still fairly sharp. So there's the 3 cutters. I'm not sure what kind of RPMs we're talking, but it's pretty fast. Now, both of these beds are adjustable. And usually I zero the outfeed out. It's zeroed out. There's really no indicator on it. It just depends on what you're doing and how bad your wood is and what you're trying to accomplish. But you adjust the bed with your little lever. Some have the wheels like those on them. But anyway, I have this set at, let's see, what do I have it set at? I probably have this set at a heavy 16th. And I may back that off a little bit, because the heavier you go, the more chatter you tend to get. You just kind of have to find that sweet spot. It depends on what, sorry for the palm of my hand. It just depends on what you're running. Now I've got my stock all ready to go here. And we're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be running it up on edge. So this piece will be riding against the fence. And we're going to flatten and square. There you go. Where is it? We're gonna flatten and square these edges first. And what that will do is give us a straight board that's square, and then we'll take it to the table saw, which also is also square to that table, and this will ride against the fence, and then what we cut will be square and parallel to this. So that's the operation. That's just a standard woodworking, cabinet making operation. That's really where you start. And it gives you excellent results, because the inside edge of all of these stiles and rails are going to get run through the the router table for the wood joints. The stiles will have a groove running the length of the board, and then the rails will have tongues on them that fit in that groove. So that about covers that. Let's see if we can get some decent footage of the joiner in action. see how we did. Now I took the lumber crayon and I marked the side that was against the fence, just for orientation, because that will be the side that goes down on the table saw table. So I know that once I get these boards jointed where I want to, and actually I think they will have to be flipped around. They'll have to be flipped around this way in order for the side that was against the fence to be down and the square side on the joiner to be against the fence of the table saw.
Good morning, friends. I'm having to interrupt this video here because it goes on and on and on. We're at about 17 minutes with this video, and there's probably another 17 minutes of it. Let me get panning on the camera here a little bit, and I'll show you where we're at. We've got those two glued up, and I'm ready to take those out of the clamps, and we're going to get these guys ready to make door parts. If that's, I'm going to record it. If that's something you want to continue to see, just leave it in the comments. Otherwise, there's more stuff going on. Get ready to go make mud pies over at the deck job. It's just, all that 10 inches of snow we had last week is out of here. So it's like walking on a saturated wet sponge. So that's all I know. As you can see, there's a lot that goes into just getting your raw wood to something that's usable for fabrication purposes. So let's just cut it here, and hope everybody's having a good day. Steve and Gwen, again, thank you for subscribing, and I look forward to talking and chatting and commenting alongside the new subscribers and the folks that have been around here for a while. We are at 90 subscribers. So this is proof, if you really get after the content, that you can make some headway with your subscribers. I think 2 weeks ago I was at 73. And so in 2 weeks, I mean, I really thank you guys. Thank you so much. It's amazing. And I feel like a different person. I've kind of incorporated the whole content thing into the daily routine, and it's pretty cool. A year ago, never would I have imagined that this would be going on. I was kind of thinking that I wanted it to go on, but you know, what a crazy thing. Hey, nobody answered that question, what was wrong with that axe handle, yet. So still, let me know in the comments what you think is wrong with that axe handle. I'm making that over after I posted it on Instagram and started looking at it a little closer. You know, it's a total learning process. We're trying to get the best product out there available that you can get. And it all comes down to the decisions you make when you're making them. And so anyway, yeah, just that'd be kind of cool. So doors, deck, handles, a lot on the plate in the coming days. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good Tuesday, and to 11.